Hello friends, welcome to my new data structures and algorithm in Java tutorial series video. Friends, in this tutorial we will discuss how to implement a queue in Java. So friends, in my previous tutorial we discussed what is a queue, and we know that it's a linear data structure used for storing the data. And here we also saw that it's an ordered list in which insertion are done at one end, which is called as rear, and deletion are done at other end, which is called as front. So in my previous tutorial we discussed how we can use this front and rear end to insert and remove the elements from a queue. And we also discussed that queue is a FIFO list, which is first in first out, that a node inserted first will be the first one to be deleted. So friends, in this tutorial we will discuss how we can implement a queue. So basically, when we implement a queue, we usually keep two list nodes by the name front and rear. We insert using the rear list node and we remove using the front list node. So friends, let's go to Eclipse and see the implementation of a queue. So friends, here I have created one class by name queue having an empty main method. So in this class we will implement how a queue works. So friends, in order to implement a queue, we need to create few instance variables. So as we discussed in slide, so queue contains a front node and a rear node. So those two nodes are basically of type list node. So here we'll create one list node and we'll give name it as front. We'll also create one more list node and we'll give it a name as rear. And we'll also create one integer variable. Now this integer variable will store the size of the queue. So friends, as we discussed in slide, that queue is basically a list. Therefore internally it uses list nodes. So here we will create one inner class of type list node. So private class list node. And friends, as we discussed in our previous tutorials, how we can represent a list node. So in a list node, we basically keep two things. One is the data part and other is the reference to the next list node. So private int data, and other is the reference to next list node. We will also create one constructor, public list node. Now this constructor will take in a data part, so int data, and we'll simply assign this data to this dot data. And this dot next will have null value. So friends, here we saw a queue has two list nodes. One is represented by front and other is represented by rear. Below we'll create one method as public int length. Now this method will return us back the length of the queue. We'll also create one boolean method, public boolean, and we will give it a name as is empty. So friend, this method will return us a boolean value that whether a queue is empty or not. So we'll simply return length is equal 0. So if length is 0, then this method will return us true, and if length is greater than 0, then this method will return us false. So friend, this is how we implement a queue using the front and rear list node. In my next tutorial, I will demonstrate how we can insert an element into a queue and how we can remove an element from a queue. So friends, I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks, have a nice day.